My name is Jordan Waters, and this is my presentation for my English 202 class regarding my final essay topic. So, the question that I will be targeting here is, consider how a particular prose work we studied this term develops one of its characters. What are some of the most significant ways in which we come to understand who that character is? You may wish to consider here such things as that character's mannerisms, verbal patterns, physical appearance, or anything else that seems distinctive and relevant. Be sure to advance and defend a precise argument. So I'll be writing about George Saunders' Puppy, the short story that we learned. The reason I'm picking the short story is because I felt like, it was a pretty enjoyable read. I really enjoyed how the author was able to give us two different points of views from two different mothers, in which they're both living different lives. One life is, I guess, high maintenance, materialistic, drives a Lexus, stuff like that, and the other point of view is like white trash, focuses on letting her child play outside, farm stuff like that. So my title right now will probably be changed. Is like how the past shapes the present, the development of parenting in Saunders' Puppy. So my main focus here is to focus around Marie. I think the author does a really good job in giving us Marie's point of view, and it kind of discusses Marie's childhood and stuff like that, which I ultimately thought was very interesting, which is why I want to write about it. My thesis here is while her children may be frustrated at her, although she did not buy the puppy from the ad, Marie hopes her kids won't grow to resent her. Although she's illustrated as an overly optimistic mother, the short story hints to what might make this facade occur. In George Saunders' Puppy, the author illustrates a perceptive story that allows the reader to understand how someone's past may shape what their future will look like. So, first I'm going to probably change this up a little bit. Now, reading it over, I understand that there's not really precise arguments. I think I'll change this up and talk about how the author does a good thing. The author does a good job in making flashbacks, which kind of is right here in paragraph 2. So I'll probably go over that, add that to my thesis statement, and give an actual precise argument. So for my paragraph 2, like I just said, Saunders often uses flashbacks to Marie's childhood to demonstrate the importance of it and how her parents treated her. I think this is very important in terms of the development of characters like Marie. Her childhood is often she often refers back to her childhood, how her parents neglected her, said these mean things to her, told she had to walk home from school in blizzarding temperatures, just stuff like that. I think that's important because obviously with trauma and stuff like that, you never want to embrace that, and you never want to put your own children through that. So I think it's very important in terms of how it kind of, as I said earlier, illustrates Marie as an overly optimistic mother, and how that might be a facade, and she might be doing more just to get as far away from her childhood as possible. My third paragraph, Marie is a mother who will do anything for her children even if they don't deserve it. At the end of the day, she doesn't want her children to hate her. But as I just said, I think this is very important because her son, for example, it's kind of hinted that her son may have some kind of anger problems or stuff like that. And rather than neglecting him for it or getting mad at him for it, she'll give him video games, cell phones, stuff like that. Just things to get his mind out of the dark place it may be in and just focus on video games. My fourth paragraph, one of the things that Saunders does best in this story is compare and contrast between Marie and Callie. I think Marie stepping foot in Callie's house has allowed Marie to do some reflecting as a mother, and hope she doesn't end up like that. However, we continue to understand that Marie is a materialistic mother. So as I said at the start of this presentation, Marie and Callie are both two opposites. Marie drives a Lexus. She can afford to get her children video games, a puppy, stuff like that. She's obviously very wealthy. Callie, on the other hand, her husband or boyfriend is a farm kid who, didn't have much of that stuff growing up. Her son loves to play outside. He's a wanderer. He has to be tied to a tree. They're kind of seen as white trash, if that makes sense. So I think the author did a really good job in kind of comparing these two. It makes me come to understand that this is another thing that Marie doesn't want to go onto her children. So Marie refuses to buy the puppy because she doesn't want to, I guess, support that kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean? She has no idea what the money will go towards. And ultimately, she thinks that Callie's child is being neglected and she wants no part of that. My fifth paragraph, I haven't written it down. I'm going to essentially just wrap this all up. I think I need to work on my thesis for sure. It may not be the best. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.